Millions of Americans are experiencing severe tattoo regret, and tattoo removal procedures are exploding in popularity and piquing the interest of millions of millennials who once thought of their tattoos as a form of teenage rebellion. The culture has changed, and that's not cool anymore. Tattoos are not fashionable anymore.
Never got the whole reason for tattoos. It just makes your body look dirty, man. I don't get it.
They're definitively fallen out of style. GQ reported on this, and they interviewed a bunch of laser technicians, but also tattoo artists, and the millennials in question who experienced tattoo regret and decided to do something about it and free up the real estate on their skin. For decades, Americans covered their bodies with more and more tattoos. A third of them have one. Now, thanks to advanced lasers and accessible technology, they're getting them removed as fast as they can. So, I guess this is not only a shift in fashion, but also our moral landscape as a culture. About a third of
Moral landscape? What does morality have to do with this? Let's keep watching.
American adults have tattoos, which is about 80 million people.
Wait, so what is the moral reason for having them removed?
Well, because we have experienced a breakdown in our code of propriety in this country, where it doesn't feel like getting tattoos transgresses against anything anymore, and you have no choice but to go back to where you were from scratch. Just shake yourself like an Etch-a-Sketch.
It's just so
Until you're
funny because
blank.
I recently rewatched like a season 1 episode of NCIS LA where like a psychologist is looking at an image of a woman with tattoos and he's trying to he's like saying could mean conformity, could mean like if they're older it could mean conformity, if they're younger it could be that they're trying to not conform because everybody else is getting tattoos. So it was already it was already an issue in 2011.
I definitely feel unique for not having tattoos because I look around at people specifically my age and I do see they have at least one or two doodles on them that probably cost like $50 that they didn't think about for more than a week. So
Doodles.
We have at least...
I guess that's just an American thing.
80 million people in this country who have tattoos. I'm honestly surprised that it's not more than that. And a quarter of those 80 million people with tattoos are regretting their tattoos, totaling about 20 odd million prospective clients for tattoo removal. All of those millennials who started getting inked in their 20s, just as tattoos were evolving from something transgressive into something more commonplace, are now inching toward or into their 40s and feeling disconnected from their misspent youths. They're having babies, paying mortgages, sobering up, getting colonoscopies, and eating clean. They want their bodies to reflect those dramatic existential shifts.
That's good news. If it's real.
And at the same time, lasers have become more advanced and more accessible. In the early days of tattoo removal, the lasers were more painful, and in many states, you had to see a doctor for a treatment. Nowadays, treatments are less abrasive, much cheaper, anywhere from hundreds of dollars to maybe in the thousands, depending on the size and complexity of a tattoo. And there are now...
That's a lot of money.
A bunch of private offices that offer these treatments. They're easier on the skin than they used to be. The financial sector is betting on the future of tattoo removal. In 2021, a chain of laser treatments called Removery received a $50 million investment from a private equity firm. There are now over 150 locations for Removery worldwide, part of a shift that has helped evolve the practice of tattoo removal from an obscure and brutal procedure to something as unexceptional as dental cleanings or Botox injections.
What was I thinking? Not getting into private equity.
Right? They mentioned one fundraising party that took place for one of these boutique tattoo removal services.
Okay.
They had a bunch of wealthy people at this dinner party, and one of the party tricks that they featured there was a stick and poke artist. There were all of these multi-millionaires getting stick and poke tattoos as you know, a little party favor to bring home. And then they presumably dedicated, you know, their own investment into these companies because there are going to be an increasing number of specifically millennials who regret covering themselves in meaningless symbols or dates or song lyrics or album covers. Who knows what? That means nothing to them later on.
Yes, if you're going to get tattoos, make it meaningful instead of just random stuff on your body, like you did a ritual of some kind, or a promise you made to someone who lost their life or something, stuff like that.
Given just, the pathway that most celebrities have to ending up coming out as a very bad person, putting song lyrics on you is just a gamble. That's just a gamble.
I mean, I think that this is happening simultaneously with a shift back to normative beauty standards.
Okay.
So
you think that the rise in tattoos in the late 90s and into the 2000s was the start of when beauty standards start to kind of push away from the norm and become something alternative, but now it's so predictable and normal that it's not alternative anymore, and everybody's trying to go back to what was once considered traditional beauty?
Definitely. I don't think that they're removing tattoos to be transgressive because it's unique not to have them. I think they genuinely just
regret getting them.
Yeah, they genuinely regret getting them, and they genuinely don't find it attractive or interesting anymore. One of the tweets about this said, "If we're serious about making America beautiful and healthy again, we need to further develop and encourage tattoo removal."
Beautiful and healthy again. Another Trump thing.
Removal technology to help people reverse the unfortunate decisions they are now unhappy with.
Wait, is this umbrellaed into Maha?
It is now being umbrellaed into Maha because
along with the Skittles with arsenic or whatever it was, titanium dioxide.
I'm not sure. I would have looked into it more if I had tattoos, but I did see some people talking about the health risks of getting tattoos because, of course, you are putting this ink into your
skin cancer. Yes. But who really cares about cancer these days? It's everywhere. In everything. You can get cancer from anything.
Body forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't just stay where you put it. It does migrate into your bloodstream. And it can lead to complications down the line, including higher risk for certain cancers. So I guess that does kind of fall under the Maha movement umbrella.
Okay.
And it certainly would be a key factor in making America beautiful again, because I've seen some tattoos you could say are less offensive than others, but most of them that I see, they're kind of awful. Like, I don't even know if I look at the tattoos anymore. I just see a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I look at any of that. If I were someone who had tattoos, I would maybe try to assess them one by one, but when I see someone with tattoos, I don't look at any of them. I couldn't walk away and like tell you what they were.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I forgot one time that Phil had tattoos. I was just like, yeah, he has them. I have no idea what they are or what they signify. I now know that he has an Apple logo on his leg or something because
what?
he likes Apple, and those are kind of the reasons why people get tattoos. And I also found a list of celebrities who have removed their tattoos. More recently, Pete Davidson. He's undergoing extensive laser tattoo removal. He's hoping to get rid of all of them. There was also MGK blacking out a lot of the tattoos that he's gotten over the years. They also listed Mark Wahlberg. He removed several tattoos, including a portrait of Bob Marley. Megan Fox removed a tattoo of Marilyn Monroe.
Oh boy.
Off of her arm during her rebellious teenage years. Khloe Kardashian removed a tattoo that she dedicated to her late father. Angelina Jolie removed a tattoo of Billy Bob Thornton's name from her arm after her divorce. And Heidi Klum removed her ex-husband's seal name from her forearm. Then
So it's just a bunch of celebrities doing this. So I'm guessing this is a plan for something. But what?
and there was also a tramp stamp that Nicole Richie got removed. Blake Shelton regrets a tattoo he got of deer tracks surrounded by barbed wire on his forearm, which he jokingly calls sugar smacks. Olivia Wilde regretted getting a tattoo of her friend's lips, which she called a spur-of-the-moment stupid decision. There was another millennial who was interviewed for this GQ piece who said that in her 20s she got a tattoo of a giant pizza slice on her arm. And she still loves the person she used to be who decided to get that tattoo, but she doesn't love the tattoo.
Proves that you didn't need the physical manifestation of the love you had before. You could have just survived with the love alone.
No, or you could like get a sticker and put it on your laptop, or a bumper sticker.
Good point. Put the sticker on your laptop.
You know, it's just the same thing as putting a bumper sticker on your body. And now they have no permanence. You would think the entire point of getting a tattoo is its permanence, but now that is no longer the case.
We have a 20 Rumble rant from the Quiet Part Pod. It says, removal should be painful. It should make you think twice about getting a tattoo that you don't want.
Well, a lot of the people who are in this article talking about removing their tattoos are saying they're getting the removal process done so they can replace it with something they like better. So it's not something that steered them away from the concept of getting tattoos.
Okay. I can see that.
In general. Amid this boom, tattoos themselves are on the brink of an identity crisis, shedding their permanence and entering into the realm of fashion ephemera, like the width of pants or the shape of eyebrows. Laser technicians have theorized that people aged 35 to 50 tend to live with their tattoos for a decade before regretting them, whereas the younger generation, we say Gen Z, who never grappled with such stigma around tattoos in the first place, regret their tattoos more quickly within 2 to 3 years or less. Again, this is Gen Z being risk averse. Mm-hmm. You would think that they'd be risk averse not to get the tattoo in the first place, but really they're just anxious about it after the fact in a much shorter window of time than older generations. And then a tattoo artist said, the young have been more inclined to remove their tattoos, while older generations are reconsidering their attitudes about tattoos as well. Maybe they've come to terms with the limited time they have left on this earth and no longer feel hamstrung by conservative societal norms. Which would either mean they feel less of a desire to transgress, or they feel less of an aversion to tattoos and are more likely to get them.
Yeah, that's what we're living through. Conservative, what was it? Conservative
well, what they
societal
mean,
norms.
they mean the conservative societal norms are dead.
Yeah.
And that's why young people are probably less attached to the idea of marking themselves in this way because it doesn't make you alternative or rebellious.
Yeah.
And the older people, mostly Gen Xers who got tattoos when they were younger, are living lives that are totally disconnected from what they were when they got those tattoos. And it communicates something about their past, not their present. And it feels like a totally different person chose that for them.
I mean, it might speak to their personality type. If they get the tattoo, they accept the finality of it, and they can then look at that tattoo and recognize that what they're looking at is the visual manifestation of something that feels like a past life to them. Depending on how deeply you want to think about it, that probably rings true with plenty of them.
Yeah, for many.
That's what I assume would be for most. That the permanence doesn't bother them, hence the reason why they've gotten so many. But that just means that more people should maybe be more introspective about who they are before they consider doing it.
Have you considered anything as a tattoo idea?
Mm-mm.
Why did it never appeal to you?
I just didn't care.
It's just dirty looking.
Yeah, like nothing felt like something I needed to be like that permanent about for something like that. I don't put stickers on laptops or on cars, so
It's definitely the same personality type.
I'm very plain. That's me.
I have considered a couple of tattoo ideas, but never in
Really? You don't seem like the type.
Recent years,
Yeah.
I considered getting this miraculous metal symbol where it would fall if I were wearing a necklace, but I just wear the necklace.
Yeah.
And I think I also considered perhaps like a crown of thorns tattoo, but never followed through on that because I grew up a little and I didn't have parents, thankfully, who would sign off on such a stupid decision. I do see tattoos are due for, I suppose, falling out of fashion because it's been ubiquitous for long enough.
It'll be cyclical. It'll
Right.
come back again later.
If this is true, that's a good thing because tattoos just don't look that great.
Maybe, or by then people will just be adding bionic limbs. to their
You'll have
bodies.
like Neuralink will have tattoos that go on like a mirage on your skin.
right.
Like a hologram.
When people are looking at you through their Google lenses, they'll just see the tattoos you chose for that week. And that's why people are talking about
That could actually happen in the future. Really, it actually could.
the newest fashion trend is digital clothing.
What?
Yeah, because there are so many young people who wear outfits just to take pictures and post them. They want to avoid the climate impact of buying clothes just to throw them away after taking a photo. So they would rather use computer-generated imagery of clothing to post the photos of this outfit that doesn't exist.
No, that's just weird. Man, this world is getting strange. But it's still better than the past.
Oh, I hate
Then
that.
really wear it out in society.
I hate that.
I do too. I
Like,
hate
I
it.
despise
It's like the most gimmicky thing I've ever heard.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, if you really want a tattoo that badly, you should probably just get a temporary one. Like, that's something that a lot of
Reapply
people-
it, get the same, buy hundreds of temporary tattoos and reapply it every day.
I mean, it's
Get-
better than spending thousands of dollars to remove a pizza slice off of your thigh.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.
Like. Peace.